And joining me on the line for the Flow Sports Fix, we have got one of our many Paralympians that's keeping fingers crossed will be on their way to Tokyo in, a little over 90 days' time. And we've got representing the sport boccia, we've got Jameson Leeson. Jameson, how are you today?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being a part of our program today. So firstly, tell me, what is boccia? What sort of sport is it? I see they're throwing things and all that. It seems a bit sort of like bowls in a way. Is that correct?
Yeah, so it's similar to lawn bowls. It's a target sport, so there's a white ball, and the aim is to get your balls as closest to the white ball and as many as you can. It's only a para sport, so I only played at the Paralympics, and there's different classifications for the sport, so people of all different abilities can participate. For me, I use a ramp to propel the balls because I'm unable to throw them far enough, whereas there's other classifications which throw the ball.
So when you say a ramp, how do you go dealing with the ramp? I guess you've got to position it in the right way, and is it all? Can you adjust the height and all that sort of thing?
Yeah, so it's a very precise game. Millimetres can have a big effect on anything. I have a sports assistant who assists me with the game to help me move the ramp to where I want it and put the ball at the right height on the ramp, depending on how far I want it to go. It's very, very, very complex and takes a lot of training involved to get a good sports assistant.
The support person helping you, you must have to have a good relationship with them to know exactly what you want, because they can't look at the field of play. I've just been looking at my notes here. They can't look at what's going on, so it must make it very, very challenging as well. Yeah, it's a very tough position for them to be in. They're not allowed to turn around and look at anything. They're not allowed to talk back to me, so if I tell them to do something and they don't understand, they can't communicate back to me that they don't know what I said. So there's a lot of teamwork involved. I'm lucky to have my mum do my sports assisting at the moment for me, which has been really good because we know each other very well. So I guess you're in the team, so was mum going with you to Tokyo?
We're not exactly sure at the moment. We're actually looking for another sports assistant for the future, but at this point, yes, we haven't found anyone else, so yeah. Okay,
so adding to all the worries of if you go or don't you go, you've got, your support person is a bit up in the air as well. The challenging must be going through your mind at the moment.
Yeah, there's a lot going on with finding the right person on top of travelling in the middle of a pandemic, which adds a whole nother level to it. So, and on top of that with my schooling, it's just crazy, but I'm getting through there and hopefully it'll be a bit calmer at the end of the year.
We hope so for you too. Now, Jameson, you're studying Year 12 at the moment, so you're only young. And how are the studies going at the moment? You're managing to, I guess, navigate it all sort of easily at the moment. You're keeping on top of your studies and your training as well.
So at the moment, I've been travelling to Sydney, which is 6 hours away, every second week to train with my high performance team. And then in the opposite weeks, I stay at home and go to school, and while I'm away, I do school by distance, which has been a bit challenging at some times, but my school's really flexible, which helps out a lot.
That must be very much an easing to your mind as well, knowing you got the support from the school.
Yeah, they've been really helpful. I was their first student ever to do my HSC over 2 years, so it's been a new experience for them as well.
So, Jameson, tell me, what is your impairment? What is your physical impairment? Can you explain all that to us?
Yep, so I have spinal muscular atrophy, which is similar to a muscular dystrophy, and it's like the childhood version of motor neuron disease. So, supposedly my muscles get weaker over time, which is why I use the ramp, because I'm not quite strong enough to throw the balls, but thankfully from treatments at the moment, my progression has halted, which has been really good.
Well, that is very good indeed. So do you have any use of your limbs at all?
My upper arms, I have a decent amount for my condition. There's a lot of people that have a lot less control, but I'm unable to walk, so I'm in a powered wheelchair full time.
Okay, has it got a V8 motor in it? Can you really get the power going?
It's actually called a V6, so you can take what you get from that, but it goes pretty fast.
You just need to get some turbos on it, and I'm only saying that because I was watching one of the Fast and the Furious movies on the weekend, and that just made me think about that. So that must be fun. And how does it go? I guess say you're heading over to Tokyo now. We're assuming you're going. That's all going to be happening. How is it for you? Because with if Mum can't go with you, and you've got another support person, they've got to look after you, and I guess your wheelchair and that as well, and everything. How challenging is it going to be for you just getting on the plane and getting there?
Yeah, it'll be a bit different experience. I've only been playing internationally and competitively for 2 years now, just over 2 years. So I've only actually ever been to 2 international competitions, which was back in this time 2019, so 2 years ago, which seems like a long time. So it's been a while since I've done the international travel, which hopefully I'll adjust to pretty well, but it can be quite a complex experience. But with my teammates and my support team, hopefully it'll go well.
Is the training at the moment challenging with you still got this cloud about that is hanging over Tokyo, or do you just put it to the back of your mind and don't think about it, I'm just carrying on with my training?
I mean, I guess it's in the back of your head, but we try not to think about it a lot. Paralympics Australia are really supportive and make sure that we're focusing on just getting there and having a good time and competing. And at this point, they're very confident that it's going ahead, and they have been for a while, so we haven't really had to think about it too much.
What about other athletes in a similar sport to yours? Even though you've only been to a couple of overseas competitions, have you managed to strike up friendships?
Yeah, definitely. So there's 3 in the boccia high-performance team who are aiming to go to Tokyo. Dan Michel, who went to Rio and played, which was incredible. He was the first person to play boccia at a Paralympics since, I think, 2000 for Australia, which is really good. And Spencer Cody as well. They're both really supportive and great teammates. And
I guess you can lean on them if you're having a bit of a rough time and get some advice as well.
Yeah, especially Dan. They've both been in it for a fair while, longer than me, but Dan's been in it for quite a while. And they've got all the experience to help me out with. When
I spoke with a previous Paralympian a couple of weeks back, I asked young Cole Pearce, was the guy I was chatting to, about how humour helps him get through things, because it does with all of us, with all our things day to day. We try and use a bit of humour to help make it a bit easier. What about for you? Do you use humour at all to get you through the day and with things when you're having a bit of a rough time and that? Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, definitely. So with boccia especially, boccia balls are very unpredictable, and the joke is going around that they're boccia balls and they have a mind of their own, so they're very hard to predict what they're going to do, which is part of the challenge. So we always make jokes about that and have a bit of a muck around at training sometimes, which always lightens up the mood if we're having a bad day. But also with other experiences in my life, having a disability, humour always makes it fun and tries to make it a bit happier than some of the tough experiences that I've been through.
Do you like playing tricks on us able-bodied folk?
Not really. I do make some jokes about myself, but which some people find funny, some people don't. But I guess I've got a very individualistic sense of humour.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. Use that sense of humour. It seems to be working well with everyone that I've spoken to, so keep doing it. So tell me, when you see someone like Dylan Alcott, he's got a nice, good profile, he's on the TV, he's in his wheelchair, is that inspiring to you when you see someone like him?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously for me with such a severe disability, it's been quite tough for me to get into sport, and boccia is one of the only ones that I can participate in. And watching him win so many medals and be so successful at his competitions and at previous Paralympics, it's just motivational to know that I can achieve things that he's achieved. And he's also been quite supportive with his Dylan Alcott Foundation. I've actually had quite a bit of support from them throughout the past 2 years with helping me get to where I am today.
Which is good to hear, So, Jameson, let's just say that Tokyo doesn't happen. Will you still keep training for the next Olympics or Commonwealth Games? It won't affect you? You'll just keep going? What could happen for you?
Yeah, definitely. This is just the beginning for me. Only being quite new to the sport. I've got big plans ahead. The competition will be changing up a bit next year with splitting into females and males because it's currently mixed, which will change it up quite a bit. But yeah, definitely looking forward to the World Champs next year as well as another competition for me to get experience in.
What do you, when you're away from training and you're away from school, how do you like to chill and relax?
I enjoy drawing and art, which probably relates to my interest in architecture. But unfortunately, I don't get a whole lot of free time with how busy I am. So hopefully after I finish school, I get a bit more free time to do what I enjoy.
Yeah. What about music? Do you like music?
Oh, yeah, of course. I love listening to music, and especially in the long car rides with the 5 hours, we always have a car playlist that me and my mum listen to.
And what's the favourite with you and your mum? Do you have a favourite song that you enjoy together?
Oh, it changes all the time, I must admit, but one of my top singers is Lewis Capaldi.
He's pretty
good. He's always one that we never skip.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Do you like movies and TV and that sort of thing as well?
I don't watch a whole lot of TV and movies. Like I said, I don't get a whole lot of spare time, but that's one thing I do get to do when I'm away and relax at night time. Yeah, I don't mind a movie. TV shows sometimes lose my attention span a bit when they drag out, but I'm more interested in movies, definitely.
And it says to me here that your greatest sporting moment was watching the Manly Sea Eagles win the 2011 National Rugby League Premiership. Is that correct?
Yeah, my family's a big NRL family. We've been for many years, and I'm a big Manly supporter, so whenever I'm down in Sydney and there's a game on, we definitely like to go and watch them and support the team.
And how's Manly doing at the moment?
We were started off a bit rough, but we've warmed up now and we're getting better, which is good. So hopefully we'll finish off the year great.
We like the Rabbitohs here, but we won't get into it. We'll leave that. And I love that you've got a favourite quote from Serena Williams. It says, "A champion is defined not by their wins, but by how they recover when they fall." And I think that's a pretty good quote.
Oh, yeah, especially for me, with the amount of trials I've been through in my life. I definitely feel as though the way I've come back from rough situations, especially now with playing boccia. So, coming through, I had a bit of a tough time in school a few years ago. So boccia's definitely helped me come through that, and now look where I am, hopefully going to Tokyo this year.
Yes, well, we've got our fingers crossed. We certainly hope you're going to make it and you're going to be a part of the team. And well, we think you're a champion. So, Jameson, we love you here. So good luck with everything, and we certainly hope you get over there. But thank you so much for spending a bit of time with us today and telling us a bit about your sport and a bit about you. We wish you all the luck in the world, and we're so thankful that we're able to chat to you. Thank you so much for joining us at Flow today.
Thank you very much for having me.